Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about some things that kind of bother me in martial arts. I was on a conversation talking to another studio or dojo about their training program. Because it's kind of good to know what your strengths and weakness are. One of my big weaknesses is my takedowns. It's just hard for me to get a double leg on any person unless they really not prepared for it. But in jiu-jitsu and karate, takedowns is very much a part of the curriculum. So I struggle with that, and I see the power of judo and how dominant it is, which a lot of people don't understand. Karate, judo, jiu-jitsu kind of all came from the same factory. And in Japan, Dr. Kano was the person for martial arts. Even the belt system that we have today is because of judo. Um, so it's a definitely a major martial art. One thing I kind of worry about is the kind of the struggle getting thrown. I'm a big guy, so to throw me is not an easy feat. I have a guy who very strong and very young, so he's able to literally pick me up. Um, but anyway, one of the pet peeves that kind of bothered me was he was talking about he misinterpreted a word that said like, "Oh, you guys want to premiere martial arts," and he said, "Oh yeah, premiere. You shouldn't go there." I said, "Oh, why?" He said, "Yeah, it's a mech dojo." Um, that may be true. It may be a mech dojo. It may be mech whatever, but that's not your place to say. Worry about your lane and worry about where you train. If somebody is, serious about martial arts, they'll find the best training. For some people, it's their introduction to martial arts. So a belt promotion for some people is a huge thing. Are there mech dojos? Of course, karate, jiu-jitsu, martial arts is a business. And it's a very expensive one at that. So to do that, some people feel pressure to um, give out belt rankings easily. But what hurts is when you get in a situation or a school situation and you not as good as you think you are, and you get exposed because you don't put in the work outside of the dojo or your training facility. Martial arts is only as good as the repetition that you do. If you do repetition, and muscle memory and practice it, it becomes easier. It's not 100% perfect, but it's better when you train. It's like football. If you train for over swim tactics and under, and you cut in your lanes and do your blocks, or you're a quarterback and you work on short, mid, running on, throwing on the run. You have to work on that stuff and work on it and work on it and work on it and work on it. So it's part of your mindset. So that was the thing I did not like. I'm going to see what they're about, and I see the videos of what they do. Mostly it's the young guys. A lot of them try and make it to the MMA world. There's a couple of them that actually made the Bellator and UFC that's from this factory. And this person is well known. I guess the founder is well known in the judo world in Kansas City. So, and I'm not going to give names just in case, I don't want to put people on the spot that way. Um, but that's kind of pet peeve. You don't have to, dog another place to make yourself feel good. Because no martial art is perfect. There's weakness in every single thing. And that's the cockiness I cannot stand with MMA and jiu-jitsu guys. They just think they just the greatest things with sliced bread, and you have distinct weakness. Your takedown game is not as good as a catch wrestler. But even though your submissions are good and your transitions are good, but there's still things lacking unless you have a wrestling background. Even wrestling has its weaknesses too. It's very aggressive and you can get caught very quick. If somebody see that you coming, you can sprawl, guillotine, take the back, rear naked choke, um, um, hand submissions, Aikido locks, Costa Gaesh, throws. Every martial art got things to work on. There's certain things we can get better in everything. Even karate desperately need to change their game and add a ground skill, which jiu-jitsu originally came from the Japanese karate jiu-jitsu. Um, but they were like, and then just Helio Gracie just took it and took it to Brazil and just, made it world known. So that's kind of one of the things that's bothered me. I can't stand when people dogmouth other styles. Now, if they done the style, if they've been doing it, and they say it's not, what it's all, sure, I take that. I had a person that did Wing Chun. I have nothing against Wing Chun. I went against a couple of Wing Chun practitioners. Them hands are serious, and they are good in that close to close. But for him, the takedowns was a weakness, and he got taken down when he challenged cross, style. So he changed to do jiu-jitsu. See, I can take that better because he tried it and knocked it. And he tried it and it was for him. So I can hear what he was trying to do. He was trying to be a pure martial artist to have the best opportunity. But when people talk about like Taekwondo is not good, have you done Taekwondo? Have you even remotely done it? Because I know some people that kick your head off. Your jiu-jitsu will not work on them. Because they're just too quick. Their feet are too quick, and so by the time you start single leg and trying to get or get some type of drill, uchimata or something like that, they already kick you 5 times. I went against a Taekwondo person. It's no joke. They are very good at what they do when it comes to the strikes. So, but I experience it. I see it for myself. If it's not for you, it's just not for you. But if you go and you try and see, try Krav Maga, try Wing Chun, try Aikido, just try it and see that what you have already learned, does it work with what they're doing. That's a sure way to test your ability in your skill. What you are learning right now, go against another style if you can. If that person, respectable and you guys can have understanding, go to that style, see if what you have learned actually works. If it actually worked. I did that about 5-6 years ago. Went against a select Cali Eskrima Wing Chun practitioner, and I got my head almost taken off, and he was really pulling his punches back. But I started jiu-jitsu at that time, and I'm a karate practitioner. That is my first major discipline that I have done, and I'm a brown belt in it. I learned that my distance was as good. My strikes was hard. I mean, I was throwing punches, but every one punch I threw, he threw 5. And imagine if he had a weapon in his hand. But my jiu-jitsu game, which I was just starting at that time, I was probably about a year in, he had no answer for. He every time he was trying to get close, I took him down. And then on the ground, he couldn't defeat me. And plus, I had a good weight advantage of maybe about 70 pounds, so it made it even tougher. So he learned something that he needed to work on, and he started adding a ground game. In fact, because of me, he had a connection to my dojo and met my sensei, and then they cross-trained in jiu-jitsu. So, and that was just me just seeing what I can do. It wasn't like, we trying to do MMA, hardcore. We were probably holding back 50%, but we wanted to see what we can do. So, do that, but don't be knocking other styles because, it doesn't appear to you. It's very real for the people that do it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You can elevate and start somewhere and then go up and do something else. That's what I did. That's how I've been training my 3 styles for the past 6 years. It's because I said, okay, this is working, but I need something else. And how I knew I needed something else was I was working at juvenile correction and I was trying to do something. It did not work the way I wanted to. And I said, I need a ground game. I need to take down ground game to work with the job I was doing, and that's what I did. So be open enough to try other styles and go from there. So this is my rant about people who knock in other styles. So be open to try different things. All right. Have a great day.
Right there, I can pull it this, however you want to hook your wrist lock, but it's coming out of this half guard, not with a knee shield in it. This is just half guard here, and maybe he pushes up to try to make some gap, maybe shrimp and pull his leg out, underhook that, knock it down to the ground, and just work that little wrist lock.